My great backdrop. My wings. I love it. I love it. Anyways, today it's Mask Monday. So grab your mask, whatever kind of moisturizer you want to use. We are once again going to use our honey potion from Pharmacy. Does last a long time. Look at this. We're finally making a dent in it. It does last a long time. I mean, I've had this for quite a while. We're going to get onto our Bible. Interesting things were happening when we left off. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Okay, so I am masked up, and I hope that you are too. Grab your tea, water, whatever it is, you know. Sit back. Let's take a listen to the King James version of the Bible. We're going to start on chapter 22 where we left off. Sarah had a child in her old age, but there was another child that Abraham had with the maidservant Hagar, and Sarah did not want that child around because she wanted her son to be, you know, the heir. And so she asked Abraham to, you know, get rid of Hagar and her son, which they kind of just left them out in the desert. But God heard Hagar's prayers and came into, you know, sent an angel and said, "What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not. God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Rise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation." And God opened her eyes. She saw a well of water. She filled the bottle with water and gave the lad a drink. And God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness and became an archer. Okay. Then a little bit later we have Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba and called there on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham sojourned in the Philistines' land many days. Chapter 22. And it came to pass, after these things, that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take thou thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah. Offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains of which I will tell of thee. Abraham, if you've been, you know, with us here, Abraham has some issues, and I could see where God would be like, you know, every now and then I gotta make this guy like rethink what he's doing so that he stays, you know, steadfast in his faith. Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled up his ass, took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, rose up and went unto the place of which God told him. On the 3rd day Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. Abraham said unto his young men, Abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took the fire in his hand and a knife. And they went both of them together. Isaac spoke unto Abraham his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. And so the both of them went together. And they came to the place which God had told him of, and Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And the angel of the Lord called out unto him of the heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. He said, Lay not thine hand upon thy lad, neither do thy anything unto him, for now I know thou fearest God, seeing thou hast not withheld thy son, thy only son, from me. And Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. Abraham went and took the ram, and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. The glasses, right? Abraham called the name of that place, wow, Jehovah Jireh, as it is said to this day, Jehovah Jireh, in the mount of the Lord it shall be seen. And the angel of the Lord called unto Abraham out of heaven the second time. And he said, By myself I have sworn, said the Lord, for because thou hast done this thing, and not withheld thy son, thy only son, that in blessing will I bless thee, and in multiplying I will multiply thy seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore, and thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. Interesting. And in thy seed shall all thy nations of the earth be blessed, because thou hast obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned unto his young men, and they rose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham dwelt at Beersheba. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, that it was told Abraham, saying, Behold, Micah, she hath also borne children unto thy brother Nahor, Huz his firstborn, and Buz his brother, Kemuel the father of Aram, Chesed, and Hazo, and Fildash, and Jidlaph, Bethuel, and Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Micah did bear to Nahor, Abraham's brother, and his concubine, whose name was Remuel. She also bare Gahem, and Thahash, and Maachah. Chapter 23. We're doing good. All right, chapter 23. Sarah was 127 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirjatharba. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah, and to weep for her. And Abraham stood up from before his dead, and spoke unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying to him, Hear us, my lord. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. Which basically means, he said, hey, I know y'all don't know me that well, but please give me permission to bury my Sarah here. And they said, hey, you are like a prince to us, so yeah, yes, you have our permission, absolutely. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he communed with them, saying, if it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me to Ephron, the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field, for as much as money as it is worth, he shall give it me for a possession of a burying place amongst you. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth. And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went at the gate of his city, saying, nay, my lord, hear me. The field give I thee, and the cave that is therein I give it thee, in the presence of the sons of my people. In the presence of the sons of my people, give I it thee, bury thy dead. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land, and he spoke unto Ephron in the audience of the people of the land, saying, but if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, my lord, hearken unto me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron, and Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. And the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure unto Abraham for a possession in the presence of the children of Heth. Therefore all that went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for a possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth. Chapter 24, and Abraham was old. Alright, I think we're going to end there. So it was a lot of talk and not a lot of action this time, but that's okay. Yeah, there was some action. God tested Abraham's faith, and Abraham, passed the test. Basically, this happens to us a lot, where we're somehow we have to give up something that you know, we worked really hard for, or that just means a lot to us, and it's just, it's gonna have to go. And then somehow at the last minute, especially if you're praying, at the last minute things work out and you don't have to give up that thing. That is my opinion. My opinion, that is a test. It's a test of your faith. Are you going to be angry at God because you have to give something up, or are you going to, you know, have faith and say, I trust you, God, that this is in my best interest, and that this is in the best interest of those around me, and you know, that this is for the good of all. I trust in you, and that is faith. So there was that. And then Sarah passed. Sarah, I believe, was the love of Abraham's life. He did some things to her that were not, like, would lead you to believe that he, you know, kind of questionable. He put her in some perils, but, you know, it was a different world then. It was a completely different world then. So, you know, it's not for us to judge whether he was right or wrong. It was God, you know, and God made things work out. So in the end, you know, it was okay. But you know, he was really heartbroken, and you know, he made sure that he had just a really nice place for her to rest, and he bought this field that was like, evidently this was a really good field for growing and grazing or whatever. And he bought the field and the cave, and that was where he laid her to rest. So that was what happened this time. So let me know what you think of that. Do you agree? Is that what you got out of it? Or did you have a different understanding of what just happened there? As always, your opinion means the world to me. Never be afraid to comment. And no one, even if you comment something controversial, no one will be rude. End of story, okay? We can always agree to disagree without being hateful to each other, and you know, that's part of being a Christian too. Until the next time, I hope you wake up dancing, boom boom, wake up dancing every single day. Bye bye.